Gavin Duskfall.
The world outside was a canvas of endless white, a brutal beauty that Gavin Duskfall had come to know as home. Inside the Arctic Magic Research Outpost, the hum of ancient heating spells fought a losing battle against the creeping cold. Her world was one of precise measurements and hushed incantations, a routine of frozen breath on glass and the soft scratch of her pen documenting the aurora's fleeting magic. It was a lonely, predictable life etched in ice and isolation. The disruption began not with a sound, but with a silence. The outpost's central crystal, the heart that stored years of magical research, flickered and died. Screens went dark. The gentle warmth vanished, replaced by an immediate, biting freeze. An emergency beacon flashed a single, terrifying code: containment breach. Something primal and powerful, long held dormant in the ice beneath them, was now awake and free. Gavin stood frozen, not from the cold, but from fear. Her research was theoretical, a study of magic's ebb and flow. To confront a living, raw entity, it was madness. The survival protocols demanded evacuation, a retreat to safety. To stay was to die. Her hands trembled over the console. Who was she, a mere scholar, to think she could face a force that could snuff out a power crystal? Then her old mentor's voice seemed to whisper from a memory. We study magic not just to observe, Gavin, but to understand our place within it, to protect it. At that moment, a secondary system booted up, transmitting a final data burst from the deep sensors. It wasn't a monster it had detected. It was a scared, newly born elemental, its energy chaotic and destructive because it was alone. It needed guidance, not a fight. With a resolve that burned warmer than any spell, Gavin made her choice. She sealed the main blast doors, locking herself in with the entity. She pulled on her reinforced thermal suit, her fingers steady now. The escape pod was no longer an option. Her quest was clear. Dive into the lower levels, find the elemental, and calm the storm within it before its raw power shattered the outpost and consumed them both. The descent was a gauntlet. Icy corridors were now treacherous, with magical feedback causing localized gravity shifts and sudden frost blooms. She found an ally in Ilias, a young geomancy technician who had been trapped in a maintenance shaft. Together they navigated the hazards, Ilias using his affinity for Earth to stabilize collapsing passages, while Gavin devised counterspells to disperse the chaotic energy fields blocking their path. They found the elemental in the core chamber, a magnificent, swirling vortex of light and ice. Just as Gavin began a calming ritual, a critical support beam, weakened by the magical turmoil, snapped. The ceiling collapsed, separating it from Elars and burying the main power relay. The outpost's structural integrity alarms blared. They were now trapped in a dying facility with a being that was their only hope for survival, and time had just run out. In the deafening silence after the collapse, Gavin was alone. Her tools were broken, Elias was on the other side of a wall of solid ice and rubble. The elemental, sensing her despair, pulsed with a light that was cold and hopeless. This was it. Failure. Her theory was just that. Theory. She had led them to their end. She slumped against the frozen wall, the immense weight of her mistake finally extinguishing her last spark of hope. But as her hand touched the wall, she felt it faint, steady hum. The geothermal tap, buried but intact. It wasn't about overwhelming power, it was about resonance. She closed her eyes, forgetting the complex spells, and instead began to hum a simple, steadying tune her mentor had taught it. She poured her own calm, her acceptance, into the note. The elemental stilled. It turned and slowly, gently moved toward her, its chaotic light softening to a gentle glow that mirrored her own rhythm. Warmth returned to the outpost, flowing from the now calm elemental curled around the geothermal source. Gavin and Elias watched as it slept, a guardian of the deep ice once more. The research continued, but its purpose had shifted. It was no longer just about observation. Gavin's logs now spoke of symbiosis and stewardship. The loneliness was gone, replaced by a profound connection. She had not found a monster in the ice, but a kindred spirit, and in doing so, had found a new part of herself.